Final batter of the day. I really appreciate you guys sticking around. Today we have Phoenix Contact with their new Niagara controller called Catan, and we have Haroon Rashid to present. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone, and thanks for hanging in there. We saved the best for last, so I'm sure you'll be excited about it. I will try to get my workbench going as well, because if we have some time at the end of the presentation, you probably thought that I'm going to do demo. No, I'm going to kill you with presentations. Don't worry about it. It's all about Catan today, but I thought that I should give a brief overview of our complete offer as it is today. So, has anyone used ILC 2050 in the audience yet? Wonderful. Okay. And does anyone know Emalytics? Okay. So basically, you see here 3 controllers, and all these 3 controllers are programmed by Niagara. Emalytics is our brand name of the Niagara workbench. So we are OEM partners of Tritium. All our 3 controllers program with Niagara. We do not have any other option. We have dozens of other controllers. We are a controller manufacturer, but for building automation, we partner with Tritium Niagara. So the first controller on top is the one which I said earlier on, ILC 2050. So I'll quickly go over the existing offer. The reason is that we are coming out with the enhanced version of it. So on the left side, the new green controller, we are releasing it next month, hopefully. It's going to be available next month. Inventory is coming in. That may take another month or so, but it is going to be released. And Catan is what it is about today's presentation. So we're going to talk about the efficiencies that we bring with Niagara or Emalytics and Catan. The controller that you see here is, in the industry, you are very familiar with screw-in connections, right? We have moved away from screw-in connections, and we have spring cage connections that save a lot of time in wiring and putting the cabinets together. And don't be mistaken thinking that, oh, okay, spring cage is not sturdy. These controllers are tested for factory automation. So these are UL 508, which is now 61010. So all our controllers are 61010. They're not 916. 916 is a subset of 61010. So all our controllers are tested for the G15 vibration rating, which is in fact because you have hydraulic machines and you have a lot of high vibration equipment. So our equipment is tested for high vibration. So these spring cage connectors, don't be fooled by this is to save your time. We have another unique feature in our green controllers, which are ILC controllers, which is inline. So if you're familiar with Phoenix Contact, our existing control offering is called inline controllers. And that is because of the form factor that you can actually snap on the I/O modules. So you can put 63 I/O modules on one controller. And you can network 63 nodes on the same controller. 63 into 63, that's where my math fails, up to 2016 or something. That's how many I/O you can have on one controller. And the black modules that you see, because now you have 55 analog outputs, you need more power. So you have to add black modules, and we have the software that is free. You can download it, and you can design your whole rack. It will give you the PDF file for it. You can put it in your documentation, in your design proposal. You can do all that, and it's available for free. We have strain relief if it's a bigger wire. You can actually label them, and we have shielded connection to minimize the noise. And in power applications, we also have 110 volt modules. So we can have 110 volt inputs and outputs. Now the new controller we are coming out with next month is ILC 2250. There are very, very small differences. Of course, this is now an enhanced version of it, which will be one of the most powerful controllers in the market. It will be 1.6 gigahertz quad-core processor with 2 gig of RAM. So that is, if you can compare with any other, I'm not supposed to say the names, but take any other best controller in the market, compare it, they'll be same. So a very powerful device now with this modular form factor and UL 508 testing. I think this is a very reliable platform. Now, we will have same will be a drop-in replacement. We will have 4 ports. Again, it's a managed switch on 2 separate NIC cards. What does that give you? The building automation applications are not building automation applications of 10 years ago. When you went and you say, what is your building? Oh, I'm controlling temperature up and down very efficiently, response time, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It's not like that anymore. Now you are in data centers. Now you're in hospitals. People are asking for fail-safe systems, failover mechanism. These 4 ports are on 2 separate NIC cards, which means you can have 2 networks. So which means you can have failover. You can have RSTP, you can have ring topology, and you can have a fail-safe. Niagara, you're all Niagara users here. It's not a millisecond transfer. It takes a minute or so, but you have a backup controller. So you can have a backup controller with this. So the ports are 2 USB-C. Before, we had a standard USB and a mini USB. Now there will be 2 USB-C ports. And of course, it's UL 61010. Those who have used our ILC 2050 controller, you know that we have a very, very powerful diagnostic tool. So you log into the controller local host or the server, 172.160.10.8080, and that takes you to the web server. You have complete diagnostics capability. Your whole rack shows up, and now you can actually test your inputs and outputs. You can force an input or output and see the behavior. That cuts your testing time short. You don't have to put everything on site and then test it there, and there's a problem. You're telling the guys back in the office, hey, can you change this? You can do all the testing in your office, in your lab, and you can save some time from there. I don't want to go too much into this because I have to get to Catan. Some more features about ILC 2250, and then now let's go to Catan. Catan is our, 2250 will be new, but Catan is also our new offer. We launched it actually this January. And this offer is breaking records. It's a very compact, and I'll show you how compact it is. It has 14 onboard IOs. It's a combination of IOs. So it's not, it's a very flexible combination, let's put it this way. You can have up to 6 outputs, you can have 8 inputs universal, you can configure them, all that. It is 62443 compliant, a lot of connectivity, and this controller, again, is 61010 tested compliant. There are total of 42 terminals, and in this size, and as you can see, this is not the standard product as it comes with the display. Display is an add-on, so you can purchase a display. So right here, you see, we have the controller. Controller is recognized by the ports here. We have 3 RJ45 ports here, Ethernet ports. And I just removed this cover from the I/O module, and you can just snap in on the USB-C port that you have. And this is a touchscreen 2.4-inch display, and that is the option that you can have with these Catan controllers. In the initial offering, we have 3 products in this offering, and that makes our whole offering very comprehensive. In the initial offering, we have the controller, we have 1 I/O module, and we have the display. So we have three main products in the first offering, and as we move on, we will have more controllers. As you can see in the fourth column, we will have a DALI I/O module, and we will have another DOR. This will be a relay module. The controller itself is 1.6 gigahertz quad-core processor, and it has 1 gig of RAM. So that makes it, again, very powerful. Then you can have, there's an 8 gig of multimedia card. It's a memory card. You can have 8 gig of flash memory, plus you have the SD slot. And somebody will ask, can I use external SD card? No, the micro SD card has to come because we installed the Niagara image on it. So whoever asked that question, you have to purchase the micro SD card from us. But you can have up to 32 gig of micro SD card. So with 1 gig of RAM and 8 gig of MMC, it's a very, very powerful device. There are 3 RJ45 Ethernet ports, so it's also a managed switch. So 3-port managed switch in itself brings a great deal of value because how much do we get a 3-port managed switch in the market? A managed switch, probably $200-300. The universal IOs, you can configure them 0 to 10 volt, 0 to 20 milliamp, or you can configure them as digital input. So, and then there are other 6 which you can configure as 4 universal inputs, or which is digital inputs or outputs, and 2 analog outputs. So there can be 2 analog outputs, 6 outputs, digital outputs, so 4 digital, so total of 6 outputs in this, just in this form factor. The relay module, it's again in this housing, we have up to 6 relay outputs, and they can give you up to 16 amp capability. That's pretty reasonable for 16 amp. If you need more than 16 amp, then you can have an interposing relay. The display itself can be mounted right on top of the I/O module or the controller, or you can mount it on the cabinet, and I will show you momentarily that. Another cool feature that this device has, this is one local extension module that I have connected here. You can have up to 16 extension modules. So imagine 16, each extension module has 14 IOs, which is again a combination. So 16 into 14, you have a very large rack. This is connected via single pair Ethernet. Has anyone used single pair Ethernet yet? So it's up and coming. It is a 2-wire Ethernet. If you have a shield, you use the shield. And in 2 wires, basically you do not lose any IP layers. So UDP, anything, all the IP layers, you don't curtail any IP functionality. So really, it's a very, very unique offering that is now taking ground. Actually, what's happening is that in USA, the infrastructure and buildings were built many decades ago, and there was serial cables running. You can use any media. So that means if you have your existing cables, 5-strand cable, you can just use 2 or 3 and just disconnect the rest, and you can still use your existing media. So that's a great feature. Now this is 10-base T1L. For those you have used SPE, T1L actually describes as the 1 kilometer range. We do not support 1 kilometer because there are graphics in the controller, there are analog values, so there is bandwidth consumption. So we only support 1,000 feet, not 1,000, so about 1/3 of it. And that is because there's a lot of data and information going through this. But These modules do not have to be local, like this on the rack. They can be 1,000 feet apart. So imagine you have your main master controller here, and then you have a remote drop somewhere 1,000 feet away in another room. You can do that. So really, you don't have to have another controller over there. You can just mount this in the sub-cabinet over there. A lot of saving. I talked about the diagnostics in the previous controller, the green ILC 2050 controller. This controller has tons of diagnostics. So if I get a chance afterwards, I'll show you the diagnostic page live. So you see that this gives you the CPU consumption, it gives you the temperature, it gives you memory consumption, and you can configure, because I said it's a managed switch, you can change the IP addresses, you can have it dynamic, or you can have it manually configured. So you can do all that. So this is a very, very powerful. You can also do firmware updates. You can set the date and time calendar. You can also actually set the software update schedule as well. So you can do a lot with this diagnostic tool that comes with it. Now the form factor, the size of it. This controller, right now with 14 onboard IOs, is most probably the smallest in the market. And what is that value for you guys? It is, most of you I'm expecting to be the system integrators. You have another controller fail, and I covered the names of the controllers, but if you see, these are all the currently available market controllers in the market. This is the smallest. That means you have a retrofit job, you have the controller with 1.6 gigahertz, same power or more power, and it is smaller in size. And you have 14 onboard IOs. You can bring it in, drop it into your cabinet, and drop in, because both are controllers, the green one, ILC, and the Catan, they program with any workbench. So we do offer some additional libraries that I am going to go through, but if you have any workbench that you're using, you can create a station and drop it in there. There are some additional libraries that I'm going to talk about that you have to actually, if you download the jar files or Emalytics module from our website, you'll get those libraries, or you can, most likely they will come with the license, the supervisor license. This is what I wanted to show, that if you want to secure your cabinet and you don't want any authorized unintentional access to your controller, you can actually mount the display externally on the cabinet door, and you can lock your cabinet so nobody has access, because this does not give access. This also is a pin protected, but it does not give access to the technicians on site unless they are authorized to do that. So you can only change the set points, look at the values. Like you can see here, there are some values in there. This is what we offer in Emalytics. So Emalytics is Niagara. So if those who have not heard of Emalytics, Emalytics is Niagara. It's our brand name of Niagara. If you want to work with our libraries, we have a very, very large, we have HVAC, room libraries, as you can see here. We have Dolly libraries. Dolly is not as common here in the United States. Has anyone used Dolly yet here? For lighting automation, it's very much used in, DMX. The gentleman previously, he was talking about DMX. These are all protocols that are used largely in your KNX is in Europe. Enocean is now coming here. KNX is coming here. Enocean has an office now in Florida. So they're trying to introduce their technologies, the protocol here in North America. So these are all the libraries that are available, room automation. We also have the graphic accelerator or PX view accelerator. This is all done within Niagara. So there are no external tools. We have taken, what you have to do is that you have to go to the software manager and you have to install or initiate or activate the runtime files for those tools. So like if Emalytics or Niagara, Phoenix Context, Niagara libraries, so you have to install those. So if you have not installed them, then they will not work. So if you do that, then we have the HVAC, we have room automation, we have REST. Actually, we have Cloud Connector as well. So we have Cloud Connector with 3 components to it. We have the data access, we have the control, where you can switch on and off the device, and you have the data logger. So all these tools, these are based on JSON, and they are available within the Emalytics libraries add-ons. We also have digital twin dashboards. All these are available. These are all built with Niagara tools. The advantage that you have is that they are free, but they are tried and tested by us. They are qualified, so they are tested modules. You don't have to develop, this saves a lot of engineering time. So you don't have to develop the tool yourself, do the testing. We have done it already. So these are all tested components that you have. And I think you can see that all these dashboards, if you have developed them in Niagara, you're probably familiar with these. So we have already done these, we have tested these. Then we have the PX, we call it PX View Accelerator. This is basically a library, or these are a group of templates that we have put together. They work seamlessly together. There are smaller components, smaller templates, and then you can integrate those objects together as well to make a bigger screen, so a bigger graphic. So as you can see here, we have the HVAC libraries, we have the graphic libraries, and I'll let the video run, and there you go. So this basically helps you with your development time. So these are the tools that we provide to make Emalytics or Emalytics Niagara more useful for you. One more thing I want to say before I finish is that those who have used Niagara, they probably know, okay, it's only on my screen. Somebody's calling me. The part numbers for the green controller, ILC controller, are different from the Catan controller. So when because it has happened to me, somebody sent an order and they say, oh, it's not working. They send the same Niagara license, for instance, 250-point license, for the green controller ILC 2050. We have created new part numbers for the Catan controller. So we have 5 designations, 50-point, 100-point, 250, 500, and 1250. So we have 5 designations, and basically, when you are ordering a Catan controller, you have to order the Catan controller license. SMA, however, is the same. Okay? So with that,
any questions? So Haroon did perfectly.
So I was right on time?
You've done a great job. Actually, you had 5 minutes to spare, Haroon.
Okay, so we can we can go into the workbench, or I mean, you guys are all programmers. So what I was showing in my slides, those are the screen captures. So you go to the palette library, type in Emalytics, and you'll get the whole Emalytics library, HVAC, room automation, PX View, and the templates. We have templates for Belimo. You guys all know Belimo. So we have templates for Belimo as well. Yep. So we have all those templates. They are built into the Emalytics, which is our version of Niagara. All right? Any questions?
Any questions? All right. Well, I think we're going to spare him the demos. You guys have been amazing. Haroon, thank you so much.
Thank you for this. And thank you everyone for your time. I know this is the last session of the day, so thanks for sticking in.
Well, that's a wrap of Pre-Con Technology Track today. I really appreciate you all hanging out with me all day today. Any other information you need, please do not hesitate to go to the booths, find myself or your local Cochrane salesperson, and we can get you more content. Thank you, and we'll see you the next couple of days.